All right, good evening, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and call to order the regular meeting 1 of the Swatara Township Board of Commissioners. It is December 3rd at 7:10 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. We have Pastor Gary Lathrop, and he's going to say a few words.
If you could all pray with me. Lord, we just thank you as we're in this time of year for all the many blessings in our lives. Lord, thank you for so much that we have to be thankful for. Lord, we thank you for those that you put in leadership over us. Ask that you bless them, give them wisdom. Lord, help them to continue to lead well. We also recognize Detective Corkle here tonight. We thank you for his 25 years of service in Pakistan, here in Swatara, and throughout the county. Just ask that you bless him and his family. Ask that you lead and guide this meeting now. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen. Thank you. You may be seated. All right. Secretary Savage, could you do a roll call, please?
Commissioner Tuckey.
Here.
Commissioner Zubek.
Here.
Commissioner Connolly.
Here.
Vice President Steele.
Here.
President Ellis.
Here.
Madam President, you have a quorum.
Thank you. And now we are up to the presentation for Detective Corkle's 25-year award. And how many?
Your executive session.
Oh, sorry. I'm getting happy with my checking the boxes. We did have an executive session prior to this meeting to discuss litigation. So now I'll go ahead and turn it over to Superintendent Stauffer.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, everyone. Detective Corkle, if you could join me up front, please. It gives me great pleasure tonight to recognize Detective Pat Corkle. On December 17th, so just a few days from now, he will hit his 25 years of combined service in law enforcement with the former Pakistan Borough Police Department and the Swatara Township Police Department. This is a milestone that many of our previous police officers never reached. Since the inception of the police department in 1950, we've employed a total of 174 police officers. Detective Corkle is only the 28th police officer to reach 25 years of service. Prior to his employment with Swatara Township, Detective Corkle served honorably with the Pakistan Borough Police Department. His police career began in the borough in December of 2000. Then in 2015, when Swatara Township was contracted to provide police services to the borough, Detective Corkle became a police officer with Swatara Township. This was the first time in the history of Dauphin County that a local municipality contracted full-time police services to a neighboring municipality, and it was the first time that police officers were brought on board through that process. Detective Corkle was one of 2 officers to go through that process, the other being Officer Rodney Zweigert, who retired from Swatara Township in 2024. As I mentioned before, Detective Corkle's career with Swatara Township Police began in January of 2015 when he was hired under then Chief Police Jason Umberger. In May of 2018, he was assigned to the position of detective and was selected to serve as Swatara Township's representative on the Dauphin County Drug Task Force. After 2 years of faithful service to the task force, Detective Corkle stepped down from the team and assumed investigative duties as an integral part of our criminal investigation division. As a detective, he has investigated the most serious crimes to affect Swatara Township, including homicide, rape, robbery, and burglary, just to name a few. During his tenure with our police department, Detective Corkle has been awarded the Team Achievement Award and is a 3-time recipient of the Award of Merit. Thanks, Pat, for your 25 years of dedication to the township and the borough. Well done. Yep. This is the 25-year award that we give out to gentlemen like Detective Corkle. We lovingly refer to this as the Octagon of Justice. It's a nice plaque crystal for you to sit on your desk. Hopefully you're not leaving anytime soon. Stick around. All right, good. Congratulations again.
We're going to need some pictures and some handshakes. You're still not getting away. Maybe you should get closer together and then we'll make a gap so that you can see.
I gotta go, yeah. Even if I stand on city.
No, just get up around.
Okay. Yeah, we should get closer. You guys should stand on that side so it's back. Yeah, stand.
Hey, scoot back on. There you go.
No, you're good.
You guys are fine. We're going to work that. Are you good?
Yes.
You should have worked on
We should.
Want to get one with everybody up here? All of our police officers in the back.
Get out of it.
Yeah, we're going to have that.
Yeah, you guys got.
We're going to be blocked anyway. Oh, great. I'm pretty good. Can I say something before?
Go ahead.
Before Detective Corkle leaves, I want to just tell one quick story. Sometimes when he was working, he had a different appearance, shall we say. And you shouldn't know that he was working. And one of those situations, he's probably going to get a chuckle out of this, I noticed that he was in the airport at Harrisburg. And I was leaving for Florida. And when I saw him, he was by himself. So last thing I was going to do was go talk to him. All these things were in my mind as to what he was doing and what criminal he was going to get arrested. And then the craziest thing happened. When I got to Florida, my ride was going to be delayed by about 10 minutes. I used the restroom, came out of the restroom, and Detective Corkle was in Florida. And I thought, this is like the biggest case. This is the coolest thing. And walked right by him. So I saw him in Harrisburg, didn't know if he saw me, but I knew enough not to go up and say, hey, what's going on? Quite possibly undercover and doing something big. And I'll speed up the story. He came over to me and was like, you saw me twice, you didn't say anything. He was on vacation and I was on vacation. So that was like the neatest thing. I was like, I didn't want to blow the cover. So it was great seeing you in the Harrisburg airport, and even better knowing that you were enjoying your time in Florida. And congratulations on the 25 years. Thank you.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
So technical, would you like to go up front here with your family and take some pictures?
Oh, yeah.
I'll leave that up to them.
Yeah, bring the whole family up.
Yeah. We'll get out again.
Remember.
You got a decision maker right here. That's young man.
we're going to go on to item 7, visitors' requests and comments. If you have comments, please come forward, state your name and address, as well as write them down, and then you may begin.
My name, Joanne Siebert, 799 High Street in the beautiful village of Bressler. Before I start my 3 minutes, I just want to, I didn't see anything in the township where you may be notifying residents that they may be getting some memberships for 2026 on Life Team. I know I brought that up last year, and the reason that it was sent out to our area was because of a new billing company. But this year we got it again. I'm afraid some of the older people that aren't up are going to think they need to do this and send money into these people. And apparently it's through our taxes, and residents don't know that. So I would think you would try to make that available to residents, that this is not to be passed around in Swatara Township. Okay. At a Dauphin County Commissioners meeting, a commissioner boasted about this past election. He said that a polling place or places had translators. I would like to know which polling place had these translators. Does anybody know the numbers?
That'd be a question for the Elections Bureau.
Pardon?
That'd be a question for the Elections Bureau. We don't oversee that.
Okay. So, and we don't know what languages that were being translated?
We have nothing to do with the way
So
the election
that was
is
all
run.
handled by Dauphin County election?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. That helps. Because I would think that if you are you're voting, you're an American citizen and you speak English. If you migrated here because of an American and became an American citizen, you would have had to take the citizen civic test, in which you would have to have the ability to speak, write, and read basic English. I know because a relative of mine went through this process, and it was quite intensive. After that, he was probably known to have more facts about our country and government than most of us in the family. When the board takes over when the new board takes over the operations of this township, there'll be no reason for many of us to even come to any meetings. All votes will be 5-0. This will be no debating, only bloviating. And in case you don't know the definition of bloviating, to bloviate is to talk at length, especially in an uninflatable or empty way, a style of empty, pompous political speech. As in Charlie Kirk would have said, prove me wrong. We came protesting a drug rehab center, unwanted warehouse, speed bumps on 80th Street, a data center, all for naught. We knew that nothing was going to happen because the board would vote 3-2, but at least we had a couple of commissioners that appeared to listen to our side and vote for the people. Now you probably have 5 members of the board patiently waiting for your 3 minutes to be up so that they can move on with their pre-approved agenda. An earlier statement I spoke will be truer now than ever before. Sit down, shut up, and pay your taxes. Watch out, Chambers Hill Fire Company. There is nothing standing in their way now to close your bay doors. They will turn you into a social fire company like they did to Bressler. I can truly say with my heart and my soul that I feel I no longer have any representation in this township, not spiritually, not morally, and not politically. If anyone out there agrees, do not be afraid to let your feelings known. You may be labeled as a racist or some kind of phobic. I, my entire family, and many others have been labeled that for the past 105 years by someone on this board, merely because we are white and we live in Bressler. But sticks and stones.
Thank you. Go ahead, yeah.
On the mailing, we believe that was sent to people so far in the Steelton area from the Steelton post office. I got one myself, and Chief Iverson is going to put out an announcement, and the previous speaker is correct. The township provides free ambulance transportation for all Swatara Township residents. I can check next week. There might be a caveat that the trip originates in Swatara Township, but you don't need any membership at all. And Life Team provides services to other areas. So it has happened on the 17036 in the past, which is Swatara Township with the Hummelstown zip code, and 17113, which is the Swatara parts of Oberlin, Bressler, and Enhant that have the Steelton 17113 zip code. So I appreciate you bringing that up, and we will be putting out an announcement. The chief is aware of it, and he will basically be using the same announcement before, just telling people they don't need to spend any money to join an ambulance service here in Swatara Township. That is already covered for our residents. So thank you.
Go ahead.
Can we have it set up to where the residents that did receive it, if they send checks in, that
Oh, yeah, well,
they don't cash them?
yeah.
They'll
And
be able to
if
cross-reference
something
it.
happened where they did cash them, they'd be refunded. Do we have any other visitors' requests and comments at this time? All right, we're up to item 8, a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We're up to 9, consideration of minutes.
9A, lead motion.
I'll second. In your packet, you have the regular meeting minutes for November 5th and November 12th. Do we have any discussion with regard to the minutes? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, minutes are approved. We're up to item 10, building and codes plans. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Director Golden.
Thank you, Madam President. This is the fog ordinance, fats, oils, and greases, in order for the township to, there we go. In order for the township to help the sewer authority out. They're having major issues with fog right now in all sewer authorities across the country. This is the same ordinance that we discussed at our meeting last month. It has been advertised in the newspaper, and it is ready for adoption. It's the same ordinance, nothing was changed.
Thank you.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion with regard to the ordinance?
This is basically, I do have one question. This is basically just for the restaurants that are already operating. There's already rules in place. This is just tightening things up.
You're exactly correct. It's for the vast majority is restaurants. It's not for apartment complexes or anything like that. However, if there's a major issue that the sewer authority notices, they'll contact the SEO and then they'll make a determination, but no residences, anything like
So
that.
we're addressing things that are escaping the grease traps.
Well,
Is there a certain percentage that's allowed to escape, or how does that work?
I don't know the answer to that. He would know better than
It's
me.
0, right? It's 0. That's what I thought.
There should
Okay.
be no grease ever leaving the trap, and essentially, if they're not maintained, that's what happens.
So we've had like 1 or 2 incidents, I think, recently that kind of led to this.
Correct. Some big incidents recently, but I could say grease is probably the #1 contributor to sewage problems.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
Yep.
that's what it is.
Okay, yep, thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone have anything else? All right. Hearing nothing, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. That is going to be ordinance 0-2025-8. We're up to item 9, consideration of resolution that sets fats, oils, and grease discharge permit fee.
Make that motion, or second, whichever.
All right, and then if you want to give a brief explanation again.
So the ordinance that you just passed requires that restaurants and other grease contribute. Okay, just. So restaurants and other grease contributing businesses have a yearly annual permit. So once a year, the SEO will go in and inspect the facility, make sure the reports are up to date, make sure the grease trap's functioning correctly. So this fee would help offset the cost for the SEO to do the inspections.
Got it, thank you. Does anyone have any questions at this time?
Yes, do you know what the total per year is approximately?
$85.
No, I mean collectively, do we know what the revenue that's going to be generated from this is going to be?
No. We're working with Mike Varner right now from the Sewer Authority. He's generating a list of all the known businesses, all the known restaurants. So no, we don't know. But what we based the cost off of is 1 hour of work.
So are we paying the cost of the SEO, or is the Sewer Authority paying the cost?
It's going to be a cost share position.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll know how much the revenue generation is prior to that?
Prior to
The cost sharing?
It's still in committee.
Oh.
I think the split was to be worked out. I talked to Chairman Moyer, I want to say last week. Your joint personnel committee was to meet, come up with a split, and then decide what the total revenue would be.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure it
No,
was
great
close
point.
to what yeah, okay.
Yeah, and just to be clear, the main concern is that the revenue covers the expenses.
Yes.
So it's not really designed to raise revenue, but we don't want to use other funds for this issue. And on two recent things in the township, the actual business owner seemed to support this because it gives them more control over the employees. So business owners there, and things are done a certain way, and then, unfortunately not everybody does the same thing. Yeah. So something gets dumped in a drain, and they'd be facing major expense. And
Yeah, no, I just wanted to know for the business owner so that we can justify the price of the yearly fee. I mean, I don't think the business owner is going to have an issue with it. I just want to make sure they know that their money's going directly toward that purpose.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Does anyone have anything else? All right, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That's going to be resolution R-2025-63. We're up to item 11, approval of GR Spinagle quote, Swatara Township Police Server Room Mini Split installation.
Motion.
second.
We have a motion and a second. You're not able to go. Yeah. Give explanation for the public.
Good. Test 1, 2. Thank you. Yeah, our computer server in the police station is a rather robust computer server, and it runs 24/7, as you can imagine, to support the police function. And that device needs to be kept at a very cool, like 68 degrees all the time, so it doesn't overheat and bring the entire system down. And we've been having a lot of trouble keeping that room cool, and it's, by the grace of God, it's still doing okay. But that's something we definitely need to do to make sure that we're securing the police server. So thank you.
Thank you. And then also for the public, the quote is for $17,632. Does anyone have any questions or anything further? All right.
Just one for me. Were we able to confirm that the quote is a CoStar's purchase?
It is.
We did, and we just added it on the agenda because it's basically a merger purchase. I'd like to add to it that thank you, Brendan and Chief Stout, because I know there were some days where you came in on your days off because you know it's not iTemp. And just to get a little bit more detail than we did, we actually just upgraded that server, so we put a lot of money into that. And the other regular server room will be isolated once we're done with the remodeling as well. But this isolates the police server from the HVAC throughout the rest of the building, from my understanding, the way it was done, or going to be done. But they're going to have their own cooling system right there on that server itself, outside of the rest of our HVAC throughout the whole room, the whole building, excuse me.
Yeah, I'll just tell you real quick. So ultimately, the unit that serves that room currently, that space was not designed to be a server room. So the HVAC unit that was taking care of that space actually takes care of multiple rooms. So what we've done is worked with the contractor. They are co-stars. I do have that number, and I did ask them to just update the documentation for that with that number as well. But that unit will specifically and only take care of that space. So it is designed for a server room. So that should resolve our high temp alarms on a daily basis. So fingers crossed.
Thank you. Does anyone have any other questions at this time? All right, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, we're on to item 12, approval of a temporary no parking request.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and I'll let Superintendent Stauffer give a brief explanation for the public.
Thank you. It's a pretty standard request, but this resident is doing some construction work around his driveway. In fact, I believe he's adding a driveway, and he has all the permits through the township to make that happen. The problem is there's going to be a lot of construction equipment that needs to have access to the front of his home. So we're trying to prevent people from parking along that stretch of roadway that would inhibit the construction project. So it's just a small section in front of his home and in front of the neighbor's home as well. But he expects, usually short-term projects like this, the police department will just grant the authority for a couple days, but it's in front of the board because this project could last a few weeks. But he expects it'll be done before January 1st.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone have any questions or discussion at this time? I do have a question for Steve, if you can hear me.
Loud and clear.
Okay. Does this actually need to be a resolution since it's temporary? I have it listed as resolution on here, but.
It's good practice.
Okay. That's fine. I just wanted to confirm that. I assumed the answer was yes, but that's good to know. Now I know.
I actually have a follow-up to that
Sure.
now. So if we're doing a resolution for temporary, does it automatically expire, or does the board have to rescind the resolution?
They all automatically expire. You just have to, when we do that ordinance for traffic, that makes them permanent. I think it's 60 days or 90 days, Steve,
For temporary?
for all
Just-
the
yeah.
parking resolutions.
I do believe it is 90 days.
Okay.
So then if it's by the beginning of the year, then we may need to rescind it because it won't be the 90 days. So, but yeah, whenever it is completed and no longer needed, we'll just get it on the agenda to rescind it. We'll do it that way.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you for the question. All right. Does anyone have anything else at this time? All right. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. That's going to be Resolution R-2025-64. We are back to visitors' requests and comments. If you have comments, please come forward, state your name and address, and then you may begin. All right. Possible stormwater violations is on the agenda every meeting. No one ever comes up and says any. We're up to 15, commissioners' requests and comments, additional business, and correspondence. Commissioner Tuckey?
$7:39. Wow, it's amazing. Jeez.
Is that a motion to adjourn?
Don't jinx it.
Oh boy, I tell you. Last night, the Christmas tree lighting ceremony. I was there. It was really nice. It was good seeing everyone that did come out. I want to thank all staff completely for everything they did to prepare and get ready for it. And that also helped throughout the night with it. And that was after a lot of them, especially the highway department, they were out quite a long time throughout the early morning hours into the end of the day, trying to clear the roads off as fast as they could. So I just want to thank everyone that participated and helped with it. It was good seeing Santa too. That was pretty cool. It would have been nice if the past 2 years was a little different than what it was on this board. It would have been nice to be able to actually work together on a lot of things rather than feel like, and honestly, we were left out of a lot of stuff. We really were. Not trying to put blame on anyone, but it did happen a lot. I wish some of the decision-making that was made took more things into account before decisions was actually made. We all are here to try to better the community. I just have a lot of issues with the direction the majority of the board took us over the past almost 2 years. The comment was made about Chambersville Fire Company. We do have volunteers up there that are trying to build that station back up. I'm not saying all their expenses should be paid 100%, but like I stated in other meetings, a fair amount to contribute while they are trying to rebuild should be allowed. And when I ask questions about who stopped, was talking about stopping the funding for up there and stuff, I wasn't given straight answers. We know that the plan was to shut the station down, as far as I know. And by taking the funds from them to try to help operate is not good. We do have volunteers up there that are working on trying to rebuild. And I just don't see the expenses saved 40% or 50% rather than 100%. We should allow them to continue to keep trying to build that station. And I know I got kicked back other times I've said it, but that's how I truly feel. It's more beneficial for our community to try to get that station up on its feet completely. And I was already told, we've already tried it for a year. That, we're done. That's enough. No, it's not enough. It has to do everything with our community and to try to get as many people as we can involved and to keep trying to go in a positive direction. And as long as we have people willing to help serve up there, we need to continue to support them. And they're good people. And I know a lot of the other volunteers are good people. I've been accused of bashing our volunteers. That's been stated so many times, and you couldn't be any further from the truth. There's no truth to that at all. The whole reason I'm even up here on this board, that I fought as much as I have over the years, is because of what I saw before I was up here, before I was elected to this position. And I didn't agree with a lot of stuff that was going on. And it was a shame because some of the people I thought were doing good things with what I saw on Facebook posts, different things was put out there. I started realizing once I started coming to the meetings and seeing what truly was going on was not as it was portrayed to be on Facebook. And the last thing I'm doing is knocking anyone up here or anyone in the community. I haven't done that. But I'm telling you the honest God truth. That's what I feel. The direction that we are taking our township in is unfortunately not 100% the right direction, in my opinion. I every decision I made from up here, I kept in mind everyone in the community. And that's truly what I hope starts happening 100%. When it comes to our staff, we have a lot of great people. We had a lot of great people too that we lost. I'm honored to be up here for almost 4 years. And like I stated before, the best part of this position is to be able to help the residents of our township. And we do have a great township. We have a lot of terrific people in our township. And that was the best part of it. I did this because I wanted to try to help make a difference. And we'll see. We're not down and out. We're not done. We're still going to participate. We're still going to come to these meetings. And if I don't see something I agree with, I'm definitely going to state how I feel. And it's not to try to poke at anyone or to try to make anyone look foolish. We have to, hopefully, really look at the situations completely that's in front of this board and make the best decision for every single resident in our township. So I appreciate everyone that came out tonight. I hope everyone has a safe trip home and a nice evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Zubek?
Oh, yes, I'd like to start out by thanking all of the staff who worked a lot of hours over the last couple of days to address a snowstorm as well as an event. And I'd like to especially thank, they work so hard. I mean, I don't know how you go from the snowstorm to taking that hat off to event planning and all of the stuff you do. And I just think we're very blessed to have staff that can execute the way our staff does. I also want to, just mention that I know there was even some incidents, and our police department did an excellent job. I drove past one of them down Mushroom Hill Road. Was not the most ideal situation, but it was, Field Police Department did everything to keep everyone safe and maneuver around the incident. And I hope everyone was okay. My prayers are with whoever was involved in that incident. I know Mushroom Hill Road is the premier slippery slope during snowstorms. And, we have to make sure we're on top of that one. And it's not easy. So just want to thank everyone. I'm going to reserve most of my comments for next week, but just touching on a few things. I know Ms. Siebert expressed concerns that there isn't going to be much questioning on things that are taking place in our township. And I just want to express my thoughts that over the last 8 years, I have asked questions. And there were a lot of times where we agreed on things. There were a lot of times where I questioned things, and it didn't even mean that I disagreed. It just meant that I needed more answers to come to an educated response on things that are taking place in our community. There's nothing wrong with asking questions about spending, asking questions about the budget, asking why. Those are important questions, and it's not just for my edification, but it's for the residents, and it's the main part of transparency that we're responsible for. And I know that recently in the news there have been some changes to the 24-hour rule on agendas and things as such. And I just want to say that I hope that this, oh yeah, there's some fireworks or something somewhere. Huh.
But my stomach was growling.
I thought maybe someone was doing a drum roll for me. Should I continue? I'm just going to continue. So, you know, I just want to say to Ms. Siebert's comments, I share those concerns. And I'll be sitting in the audience. I'm not going anywhere. I'm a tax-paying resident in this township. I've been here for my entire life. My family's been here for well over 100 years. And I've got deep-rooted seeds in this community. And I'm not going to go anywhere as far as my concern for the direction of our township. And I also want to say, you know, it's my sincere hope and I pray that those who follow us understand that questioning is healthy, and that not only is it healthy, but it's not okay to be a rubber stamp either. So I pray that that's not going to be the case. I do, because the only thing worse than a rubber stamp is a bounce check, and I don't want to see any of that. So, you know, those are the things that I've tried to pride myself on, you know, answering every call, every email, everything that's come my way. I just do. It's not about, you know, you just have to do it. You have to make sure the residents are happy, and you have to continue doing your best. And at the end of the day, you hope it's enough. And, you know, I think it's always going to be enough if your heart is in it. So that's all I really have to say this evening. I want to thank everyone for coming out. I'm not sure what that noise is.
Huge fireworks.
Hopefully the building maintenance, that everything's going good. But we might want to adjourn quickly. And anyway, have a good evening, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Connolly.
I want to have a list of things. I'll try to be brief because this could be a record meeting. So I'm cutting my list down to 1 hour instead of an hour and 15 minutes. But I want to start by saying I respect all the commissioners that I served with. And we're getting to the end of a term or 2 terms for 2 commissioners up here. And I both respect and appreciate the passion that they bring. Not saying I agree with them, not saying that I'm not a cause of some discomfort on certain things and opinions, but it takes a brave person to put their name on the ballot. I say that all the time. That's whether you win or lose. And these are 2 commissioners that won and have served. And like I said, I have the utmost respect for that. I don't want to even attempt to alleviate anybody's concerns or fears with what drives them to think whether we do a good job or whether we listen or not. But I pulled out the 2 agendas that we approved. So that's 2 meetings in February. And I looked at the agenda tonight. And we've taken either 30 or 31 votes through those meetings. I made the number 30 because it made the math easier. There's 5 of us up here. 30 times 5, if I'm doing this right, there's 150 votes. And this concern about just following along or, you know, voting the same way, 149 of those votes were in the affirmative. 1 vote, 0.5% of the total, was a negative vote. And I respect the vote. I'm not going to say which one it was or who it was, but there was 1 vote that was a nay. So you're talking 99.5% of the votes we all agreed on. And then we hear a perception that it's 3-2 or there's animosity. Most of the time, the issues are just straight governing. Things that we're trying to do, we all agree, and we're doing the best thing for the community. Then there's times where we have a difference of opinion. And those times, I'm sure if I went through the whole year, would not really deviate a whole lot from that. If you're in school, if I was in school and I got anything that started with a 9, if it was a 90 or 91, I'd be a happy camper. But 99.5% 99.5%, the 5 people you're looking at in these meetings have voted the same way.
How many times did you see a 9 in school?
I don't want to. All right, I'm even going to change that. I was happy if I saw an 8 at the first number, but
Just curious.
I had my moments. And I have a pretty good sense of humor, and that was funny because I was thinking that, but she said it. So, and then I just want to go into a couple things here. We had a huge fire in the township at McCreath Lab off of Gibson and Bavali Drive, and tremendous response from our firefighters, emergency responders from the county, and our mutual aid partners. And they did a really good job containing that, getting the fire out pretty quickly. There's a lot of chemicals in there, and it could have been much worse than what it was. Certainly appreciate that. The snow yesterday, incredible compliments from the community. Great job as always, and as we heard, that came right before the tree lighting. We had looked at the tree lighting. We looked at different possibilities. We needed to put the lights on the tree. If you delay or cancel or anything like that, I mean, then the lights aren't on. So basically, it was the beginning of the holiday display here. So we went with it, talking to staff, Kevin. Brendan was heavily involved. Our public works, Randy. And then our first responders, and we think we made the right call. We went with it. It might not have been ideal conditions, but it is a Christmas tree lighting in December. So the snow was very beautiful, and we did a good job, I think, maintaining the grounds. I don't think we had any, slip and fall or anything like that. And we had a lot of people, and I want to thank everybody that was involved in the planning and everybody that came out that could attend. I want to make an announcement that really was a long time coming, and it's not completely over, but yesterday, in advance of the preparation for the tree lighting, we had a person from the elevator company here finishing up the repairs on the elevator, only to find out that now we need a state agency to sign off on the repair. So it's fixed, but we still can't use it, but we're hoping we're hoping that happens pretty quickly, and there's no getting around it. We can't say it's fixed and then we'll use it until they inspect it. We're not using it until it gets inspected. So the repairs have been made, and once we get that sign off on that, we'll be back in business hopefully for quite a while. I also want to address, I had the ambulance thing on here. Citizen that spoke from the podium brought that up, so I did address that. If anybody has any concerns, they can reach out to the township here. It'll get directed to the fire chief. If anybody has paid, there is a way to make sure that is refunded by cross-checking the addresses. And for anybody that's in the room or listening, you can just disregard that. Your ambulance transportation is paid through the contract with the township. And one other concern, this will be my last thing here. There's a lot of children here last night. We had kids events. There were several questions about the parks and the upgrades. Next week, I believe, as part of our project update, we'll address the playgrounds. But there was one question that was asked 2 times, and then also at the end of the planning commission meeting, and it had to do with the Crest Park. If anybody's concerned, we had talked about it. That entire play piece will be replaced. We know there's a broken section in the middle. We're not just getting that tube. The entire play piece will be replaced. Very possibly it is on site or about to be delivered, one of those play pieces. But just to alleviate the concerns, the entire thing was at the age where it needed to be replaced. So since the question came up 3 times in the last couple of days, there's probably more people with that question, and I just want to put that out here. So the Crest Park, the play piece will be a new one there. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice President Steele.
Appreciate every single one of you that came out and enjoyed the evening with us this evening, and those that logged in online. I'll be very quick, very brief. Thank you to the fire police, the highway department, the fire department, and all the volunteers that helped out with the tree lighting event yesterday. And then also anyone that helped out with the cleanup for Thanksgiving cleanup, and anyone that actually volunteered or served free meals or took food out of their own refrigerator to make sure someone got fed over Thanksgiving. Thank you very much for your kindness and your thoughts for others. I'm going to speak very briefly to the fire that we had down off of Gibson, and it's a low frequency, high risk fire that we had due to the fact that there was a chemical release. So I just want to say great job by our fire department, our volunteers, our part-time staff, the mutual aid, Dauphin County Hazmat. It could have been a lot worse situation, and our folks responded very, very quickly. Our folks made an aggressive attack, and if you know anything about firefighting, if they did not make the quick response, the aggressive attack, we could find ourselves evacuating a whole town, a prison, Dauphin County 911 center, because of the chemicals that were burning inside that facility. So hats off and kudos to all the volunteers, Dauphin County Hazmat, and again our mutual aid partners, because they performed outstanding that day, as they always do. Other than that, I'd like to say have a good night and enjoy the rest of your night and your evening.
Thank you. I'll be relatively brief too. Ms. Siebert, I've been waiting for you to come back to say this. I feel like the last time you were here was in August, and you had comments about the amount of times the word was said during commissioners' requests and comments. And at the time, I want to thank you that it gave me the opportunity to reflect on where I am now with public speaking with regard to where I came from. And I am going to say, I haven't gotten past that. But what I will say is, when I was a child, I was extremely shy, to the point where if I was at a restaurant, I would sit there and be thirsty. I was not going to ask anyone that I didn't know for a drink of water, anything like that. I was extremely shy. So for me to be leading these meetings, I am very proud of the progress that I've made when it comes to public speaking. In college, it's embarrassing to admit, but I had to repeat speech 3 times because I just wouldn't go to class. So to be able to sit up here and lead these meetings, I'm very proud of the progress that I've made. And I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to have that reflection. And I want to make sure that I give a special thank you to our Public Works Department again. Yesterday we had the first snow of the season, and obviously it fell on the tree lighting, which is not ideal. The Public Works Department always does a great job with making our roads passable and safe. So again, please extend my gratitude and my thanks. And I know it was a very, very long day. I think that the people that were in attendance of the tree lighting were very happy that we still had it and everyone had a good time. I also want to thank everyone that was part of making sure that that still was able to go on, all of the volunteers, our police, our fire police, firefighters, as well as admin staff that was involved. You guys always do a great job, and I just want to make sure that we always extend our gratitude. And that's all I have for tonight. So I want to thank everyone that took the time to come out. Thank you to everyone that takes the time to watch these meetings. And I will go ahead and entertain a motion for adjournment. Motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Meeting is adjourned at 8:04 p.m.